So thanks for joining me. I have a couple of notes that I'm going to actually be looking at since my mind was jumbling everywhere. Today I want to talk about children being mirrors and how we as the parents or the caregivers of children, how we affect how their behaviors are. And so I want to share a quote from a book that I read, Kids Are Worth It. And at the beginning, the author shares a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt. She says, "One's philosophy is not best expressed in words. It's expressed in the choices we make. In the long run, we shape our lives and we shape ourselves. The process never ends until we die, and the choices we make are ultimately our responsibility." And that makes me think about my parenting and when I was having children and the kind of parent I wanted to be. Prior to having my twin boys, I read a lot of books about being a calm parent and being very attentive and there for my child, but the importance was being calm. And all of that went out the window when my twins came. I very much became aware of my need for control, or my OCD. And when you have two little babies that are trying to figure out their sense of the world, routine and that need to be in control kind of falls by the wayside because you need to follow and meet their needs. And I very quickly began to see that the behaviors and the way I was presenting myself was being reflected back in my toddler. And I still very much see that today with my preteen daughter. I was a stay-at-home parent with her, and so I am the person that she connects with more so as her primary giver. Her father is just as much in the picture, but from that get-go, it was really a lot of her and I. And so I see the good that I wanted from her. She's strong and assertive and confident and a problem solver. But I also see someone who, when she's tired, she gets nasty. And I get that way too. That I like to be surrounded by people, but it's on my terms. And so if I want you around, I want you to either be doing what I'm doing or I want you to be quiet. And, so it's really made me have to reflect who I am as a parent. And so I present this because this is something to think about as being the caregiver for your child, how your actions and how you present yourself, your child is seeing and taking in. And so I do a lot of reflection. I think I always reflected a lot, but now as a parent as well as a teacher, I'm in my head a lot thinking of how I can be a better person, how I can model being a better person. A lot of that comes out in the respect that I have for all life on the planet, from the smallest insect to the tallest trees growing. I try to be mindful of being helpful, and that my helpfulness is genuine, that there's nothing that I'm trying to get out of it except merely being helpful, that I'm responsible and I take responsibility for my actions and the consequences of such. I try to be mindful of not placing the blame on someone else or placing the blame on something else. I try to own up to that. And most importantly, I apologize when I'm wrong. Sometimes it's hard to do, and a lot of the times when you're in the wrong, you might be frustrated and want to be right. But again, modeling for my child, apologizing when I'm wrong. Also, my habits and everything I do, from how much screen time I choose to do. It's really hard. Facebook is addicting, and I try to get off of it more so, but my children are really good about noticing it and saying, hey, you don't want us on our screens. You need to get off. Got it. Point for kid. Exercise. If I'm telling my kids to get out and move about, go outside, run around, well, I need to be getting up and doing that as well. My diet. I can't have my children eating super healthy, but then I'm eating junk food on the side. So that same genuine expectation that I have for myself, I'm modeling to my child. And there's the words of Maria Montessori and everything. She was a phenomenal woman in terms of the things that she realized about children by observing them and such, that was way before her time. And something that really resonates with me as a parent and as a teacher is this quote where she says, the child has a different relation to his environment from ours. The child absorbs it. The things he sees are not just remembered. They form a part of his soul. The child is the constructor of man. And so when children grow up to be adults, it's not arbitrary that all of a sudden he's different from how he was. The child is forming the man he will become, or the girl, or whatever you choose to identify with, but you are forming that adult persona in everything that you do. And the child just is naturally taking that in. So I leave you with the parting words of, how are you modeling to your child? How are you wanting to have him or her reflect back to you what you are giving off? That's it for today.
If you are finding my tips helpful, please subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, follow me on Facebook at The Montessori Place.